evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Garbage Theater. Tonight's installment, Dragon Ball, The Magic Begins. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-hosts Blake and John.
Hello.
Yo.
Let's get this shit show on the magical road.
Yeah.
Well,
it was better than Born into Mafia.
it was better than a lot of things we watched.
Yeah.
I did go back to my old habits. I fell asleep a few times during this one. I will say this. Like, I'm all down with a movie ripping off another movie, but this one, it wasn't so much a ripoff as it was just a carbon copy.
It's actually extremely faithful to the Dragon Ball Curse of the Blood Rubies.
And you know, when we talked
Animated movie.
we talked last week or last episode about how they changed the names and everything, but in the subtitles, it had the real names of the people.
Yeah, it did, and that's why whenever I do the little run through, I'm going to call them by what they're supposed to be called.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
I think they were probably the names were only changed for the English dub. I don't think
more than
I don't think
likely.
they gave a shit. In any other country.
I mean,
this was
it exists.
The subtitles on ours were what? It was Portuguese, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
You know, they got tildes over an A. You know it's Portuguese.
Oh man.
See, I've never seen Curse of the Blood Rubies, but ever since Dragon Ball Fighters came out, I've been like combing through the original Dragon Ball, and it's like really spot on to the first.
Now you have seen it.
Yeah, well, I actually just finished the season 1 today, but it was the first arc. This was like directly from the first arc of the show.
Yeah. Very, very close. I
was hoping to see more misdirection, that it was a ripoff. Like, because that's what I think is good. Like, when I'm watching a good ripoff movie, is, you know, yeah, it's Goku, but he does exactly the same thing that he does normally. And so it'd been funny if, you know, they did something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. They didn't do any of the moves. Like, there was no Kamehameha. No Wolf Fang Fist.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
That was a little disappointing.
Which, I mean, if you're going to go this close to just blatant ripoff, why not?
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
anyway.
I think there was actually lines that were actually repeated from the original content.
Yeah, I meant to go and actually watch Blood Rubies just to have it fresh in my head, but I didn't. Sorry, everybody.
No, that's fine.
Well, and John, since I know you said you recently just went through the series, I know just like with Z, the movies and the series don't really go hand in hand. They can't really line up very well. So some of the things are different. Like in the series, the main bad guy, it's Pilaf.
Right.
When in the movie, it's Gormeth.
So is the movie just trying to sort of sum up a bunch of episodes
The first
of the show?
arc.
Okay.
Pretty much. I mean, and that's how the first two movies of Super are. The first two movies of Super are Battle of the Gods, which is the Beerus saga, and then Resurrection F, which is the Resurrection of Frieza saga. It's basically the same thing, just a little bit different.
Okay.
That's kind of what all the movies really were. They're just a little chunk of things. That's neither here nor there.
I saw a clip of another movie that seemed to be from the GT era that was again recapping stuff from the beginning of the original series.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's just how they did it.
Just keep making the same stuff over and over again. This is going to be a Dragon Ball nerd episode, so...
It really is.
Let's say, how many times can we say that it's same, but different?
Yeah. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be a major nerd episode. Anyway, let's get into it. Dragon Ball, The Magic Begins. We open on a small village where the villagers are all gathering together at this tower, and inside there's a ceremony taking place, and the one-star Dragon Ball is brought out. And the lead monk tells his congregation that the Dragon Pearl that has watched over the village for 100 years. It's being passed down to the new village chief. And then all of a sudden, various flying vehicles appear and open fire on the unsuspecting crowd. And this movie just goes from 0 to 90 in 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's just chaos.
The chief tells his wife to take, who's supposed to be Chi-Chi, but is, what's her, Jade.
Oh, yeah, they called her Jade.
They call her Jade. She's based on Chi-Chi, but in the movie, it's Pansy.
She's supposed to be Chi-Chi, though?
I just confused the hell out of everybody.
You did.
Because in Dragon Ball, she's based on Chi-Chi, but in the movie Curse of the Blood Crystal, she's Pansy, a different character completely, and in this, she's Jade.
Okay.
Yeah. Clear as mud, moving ahead. Yeah. So the chief tells him to get her out of there for the sake of the world.
Yeah. Now,
this little girl holds no sway over the fate of the world at all in this entire movie. So all hell's breaking loose. All the thatch-roofed huts are being blown the fuck up left and right. And an army of futuristic warriors storm the bridge and start gunning down all the villagers.
This was the perfect example of why you don't break the 180 rule. Because you see the villagers running across the bridge. An explosion happens, and then from the smoke, you see these warriors running down the bridge. And I was like, holy shit, did it turn people into warriors? But no, it was because they broke the 180 rule. And because that's exactly what it looked like. Oh, everybody turned into warriors.
I had that exact same reaction to that weird transition.
Yeah, it was strange.
They've got to turn you into the bad guys, Ray.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought at first.
Yeah.
So back inside the ceremonial hall, the monks and the chief are sending thoughts and prayers out to the hundreds of villagers being slaughtered by the second outside. Explosive shotguns and grenades and machine guns all laying waste to this wicker utopia. And the Foley yelling of the villagers was spot on.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like one guy, ah, oh no, ah. So the army stops as a ship hovers over the ceremonial hall, and a figure beams down and is greeted by his 2 lead goons, and they enter the temple, and the blue-faced King Horn tells the chief that he's after the Dragon Balls, and all these evil characters are right out of a Power Rangers series.
Yeah, it's I was getting a real Masters of the Universe vibe.
Oh my god, I was going to bring that up. This felt like the beginning of the Masters of the Universe movie.
Yeah.
Where they storm Castle Grayskull and take it over. Yeah. When did that come out?
Oh,
it had to be late 80s, early 90s.
I want to say 80.
Probably late 80s.
I want to say 89, but
yeah, they ripped that off.
Probably.
Of all the things to rip off.
But how dare you question the integrity of this filmmaker and suggest that he ripped off anything?
Oh boy. So, the chief tells him that he'd rather destroy the Dragon Ball than hand it over, and I thought he was going to eat it for a second, the way he holds it up. The monks swarm around the chief and usher him out to safety.
Can we say they comically ushered him out?
They form a human donut around him, and they all just kind of shuffle their way out the door.
So the poor bastards in the back got to shuffle backwards.
So King Horn disappears in a ball of light and reappears, cutting them off. He Palpatines the whole crowd and takes the Dragon Ball. Then 2 expositions to the camera that are... He starts expositioning at the camera. Like, when I say at the camera, his face is in the camera. And he's saying that there's 7 Dragon Balls, and he's in possession of 2 of them. And when he gets all 7, a light will explode in the middle of heaven, and the magic dragon will appear, and King Horn will rule the universe. And then he instructs his goons to go out and search east for the next Dragon Ball. Cut to the forest, where King Horn's telling his men that a man named Son Gohan, who possesses the 4-star Dragon Ball, is out there. So they got that right.
Yeah.
Gohan was the keeper of the 4-star ball. So good for them. They're going right down the middle with this thing.
Is he in the Curse of the Blood Rubies movie?
I'm not I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he's already dead.
Yeah. Okay.
I read this is the only rendition of Dragon Ball where Gohan does not die. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I know in the cartoon he was already dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it's just Goku living alone in the woods. Here, Gohan's still there. So he instructs his 2 goons, and the name of the woman I couldn't get right because it kept changing. The subtitles kept changing, and I couldn't catch it audibly. Is it Malalia?
Something like that.
Let's just say it's that.
I don't know.
Malia or
Melora.
and Zabrata are the 2 henchmen, and he orders them to go retrieve it.
I wish they would have had what's his name, Shu, the ninja dog. That's Pilaf's, one of Pilaf's goons.
Yeah, the little dog person.
The little ninja dog would have been an awesome addition to this film.
Yeah. Well, when they can't spring for Yamcha's friend Cat Poir, and they just straight up do a cockatoo. It would have just been a dog with like a mask on.
Yeah, it would have been really, really shitty, whatever they did.
So we cut to Gohan's hut where he's sitting in front of the 4-star ball. It leaps up into the air, and Asian B. Arthur / Grandpa Gohan catches it. Goku asks Grandpa Gohan what's wrong, and he tells Goku that they must do whatever they can to protect the Dragon Ball. And Goku says, I will do whatever it takes to protect the Dragon Ball, and especially this magic pole.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to avoid all the magic pole innuendos that this movie set me up for 1 billion times throughout its runtime.
Why? Why bother?
We're going to try to keep it highbrow around here.
This movie didn't keep it highbrow.
So Goku whistles.
Well, isn't like the first thing that Gohan says? He's just like, apropos of nothing, I don't care about my life. Protect this Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I don't care what happens to me. Protect the ball. Use the pole. So Goku whistles, and his magic pole flies into his hands. Gohan decides that it's time for the feats of strength. And
not if the Festivus pole is here.
Yeah. He attacks Goku using jittery old man hand technique and blasts fire extinguisher chemicals at Goku and sends him flying out the door. They leap from tree to tree, battling it out above and below the ground using burrowing technique.
That's not something Goku has normally.
Yeah. Goku summons his pole, but Gohan can kick through it like a ghost. Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he just kicks and he just phases through it like, yeah. Then he comically flings Goku around by the end of the pole. Goku refuses to yield, and Gohan tosses him down a well. When Goku doesn't emerge, Gohan begins to worry, runs up to the well, and gets punched in the face for his trouble. Goku super roundhouses Gohan and sends him spinning through the air. He then rams his magic pole up Gohan's ass and flings him back into the house.
Get fucked, Gohan.
Yep.
Gohan comes out with a pot over his head, which Goku violently smashes. Gohan accuses Goku of cheating, John style, and says that there's one last round to go. They then square up and let loose a vigorous round of Rochambeau, which Goku loses, I guess.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest rock, paper, scissors match I've ever seen.
I don't know what happened.
There was a lot of extra steps to just rock, scissors, paper,
it's
shoot.
That Taiwanese shit, man. It's like tiger, elephant, paper, stone.
So Goku now has to cook dinner. And since they had tiger and lion the last 2 days, Goku says, it's time for elephant. And Gohan says, oh, that's too tough for me to eat. Why don't you go get a fish? He's okay, I'll get a fish. A crocodile.
You idiot.
Don't you know anything about the biology and shit?
So Goku blasts through the forest in the most unconventional fashion possible. He stops to feed some monkeys before arriving at a waterfall grotto, leaps in, and he's spotted by a crocodile who speaks, "Oh, here comes breakfast." Now, okay, in Dragon Ball, a lot of the animals talk.
Yes.
I mean, they have a dog for a president, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
There's dinosaurs flying around that will definitely talk.
This was just kind of odd.
This crocodile was only was only slightly better than the one from Swamp Ape.
Yeah. Yeah, slightly. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think there's a few things we can say right now about, first of all, this movie's got a tone issue. The first thing that happens is King Horn shows up and massacres an entire village of people.
Genocides an entire people.
And then, the next scene is a straight up cartoon. With fucking stars circling people's heads and stuff.
Yeah, when Goku smashes the pot off of Gohan's head, he has cartoon stars swirling around his head.
One thing I will say is the music was spot on.
Yeah. There was some wild and wacky music throughout this movie.
Yeah, it was straight up Dragon Ball music.
Yeah.
So
They could have straight up stolen Dragon Ball music for all we know.
Who knows?
You wouldn't have been able to tell a difference.
But yeah, they're slavish. Sticking to the Dragon Ball lore ends with having a talking crocodile or whatever that looks totally absurd. It's just like it's like a puppet with just a hinged jaw that flops around on top of the water.
It was just made up from scraps. They had some scraps laying around
with the sound effect of nom 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 whatever it finds.
Yeah. Now in the movie, in the show, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be an actual giant fish.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess it was easier to build a crocodile. So they just said, we got to do a crocodile. I don't know. We're gonna still have them say fish though. We're just gonna count the crocodile as a fish.
And I thought they might have had some money for this. Just because they blew up an entire village in the opening scene, I was like, oh, there's a little bit of money here. But then they get to the crocodile, and
that was all the money.
We're not blowing any money on this crocodile.
No, I know what it is. They brought in a consultant, a martial arts consultant. And when they told him that Goku's going to go kill a fish, that consultant said, "Fish are sentient. Get him to kill a crocodile."
Oh. Then he started picking up various liquids with his bare hands and slurping them down.
The only other thing I want to say right now is this movie came out in 91, you said?
91.
Oh man, it looks terrible. For 91, it looks like trash. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a 60s movie.
Yeah, it looks like a poorly done 1981 movie. Now, I just want to interject this here. When I was thinking, how do you do a Dragon Ball movie in a live action one? How can you even do it? And I'm thinking that this quality is the only way to do it.
It's helping it.
You've got to go full, terrible, campy, scratched up VHS quality. All the effects have to be rotoscope, Ghostbuster effects. Mm-hmm. And you just got to lean into it.
You're probably right.
That's probably the only way to actually do it correctly. And you can't do the hair. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just can't pull that off. No,
Dragon Ball hair can't be done in real life.
Nobody knows how that hair works in 3 dimensions.
I was about to say, gravity doesn't fucking work that way, so...
Okay, back to this crocodile. The crocodile attacks Goku, but he manages to climb up on its back and starts rabbit punching the hell out of it. It whips him off with its tail, but Goku rams his magic pole down its throat. So a Jeep then pulls up and Bulma gets out, holding her dragon radar. An actual fairly faithful representation of what Bulma's supposed to look like in the Dragon Ball series.
Right.
She follows the dragon radar to the location of the 4-star ball, but just then Malalia or whatever and Zabrata roll over the hill in goddamn tanks and run down Bulma.
And then Goku rams his magic pole up the tank's ass. No, it doesn't happen that way, but...
So they narrowly miss her and continue on their search, and Bulma realizes that they're headed towards the Dragon Ball's location too, and that's odd, and follows them.
But she has the Dragon Ball right then, too, right?
She does. We don't know this yet, but she does.
If they're out searching for Dragon Balls, and they have some way of tracking them, obviously, they just
I don't think they do. I think they just... I think Emperor Horn just said, go east, and it just happened to be dead east from where they were.
Well, they passed one up.
They certainly did.
So... Back on the road, Bulma crosses paths with Goku as he's carrying his crocodile home. She straight up tries to...
Thing over his... He's carrying it over his shoulder, and it's just stiff as a plank, sitting on his shoulder.
Sticking out 6 feet in either direction.
It's terrible.
I kind of like that, though.
It was funny. It was funny.
So she straight up tries to run him down in the Jeep, but he stops it with his bare hands. He thinks Bulma's a witch and calls over his magic pole to get that pole ready. Bulma draws out a submachine gun and lights up Goku in the street. She gets out to find him unharmed.
I was like, what is she, a cop or something? Just blasting off right away.
Goku, seeing a girl for the first time in his life, is taken aback, and then they go on to describe the differences between boys and girls, and that's summarized as girls have bigger chests, and that's it. Bulma also then explains to him that you can't just go around touching girls' chests, because those that do are, everybody together, rapists.
They do like a jumping freeze frame.
Yeah, and they were so excited to say rapist.
Now, this scene is fairly accurate to the movie.
Yeah.
Where Goku's never seen a girl before, and they go through this whole thing, and he thinks he's not human, and all that. I don't remember the rapist bit, though.
No,
that wasn't there.
No, Goku doesn't know what a rapist is. He barely knows what a girl is.
He doesn't know what a girl is.
The thing that
the only people he think exist are him and Gohan. So when did the rapist conversation come up?
The irony is he's been raping people with that pole for like years.
He's been raping his grandfather with that pole during every feats of strength.
Exactly.
That's a Festivus miracle.
The part that bothered me about this was, I don't know if it was the dub or not, but he, upon seeing her, calls her a girl. And then acts surprised when she tells him she's a girl.
Yeah.
I was like...
I didn't catch...
Yeah.
Way to go, dub.
Way to go.
So, Goku finds a Dragon Ball in Bulma's bag, and she says that it was given to her by her father. She warns him that the warriors were headed for his home for the other Dragon Ball. They head out to help Gohan. Back home, Gohan gets ambushed by the warriors. Malia opens fire, and Gohan dodges the bullets easily, and then Zabrata magical shotguns half of Gohan's house away.
Shotgun is ridiculous.
The shotgun he's got is... Gohan hides in the well, but he's spotted, and they blow him out by shooting down a hole in his house that blows out the well. I don't know.
We can only assume... It was like the cherry bomb in a turlet situation.
Yeah, it's gonna blow out all the reservoirs around. Yeah. So Goku flies through the woods to find his home in flames. He calls out for Gohan, but there's no answer. Goku and Bulma decide
straight up Star Wars Luke
west.
Situation.
Yeah. This is the call to action here. Goku and Bulma decide to head west and follow the warriors. They catch up with them on the road and attack, but Zabrata opens fire on the Jeep with his shotgun, and Bulma and Goku leap out before it explodes, and the warriors drive away. All this fairly accurate. They chase after them. They get in a fight on the road. They blow up their ship, and they're stranded. Cut to seconds later, and Goku and Bulma are riding on an elephant, because why not? And then this movie commits the biggest sin of a Dragon Ball ripoff that one can make when Goku announces that he is not hungry.
Yeah. What was up with that?
Impossible. Impossible.
So he then tells Bulma about being raised by Gohan and his life story. Cut to Chi-Chi running through a field, being pursued by a pig man in blackface. Oh boy.
God.
Why did they have to give him blackface?
Yeah.
Zero, I don't know.
Could they not make the pig makeup blend to this? They just paint them all black.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the weirdest choice. I mean, they've been so accurate so far. Oolong is not black. His skin's not black. I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah. This creature wants to take Chi-Chi as his wife, and Chi-Chi says, "You're too ugly for me to marry, and besides that, I'm too young. I'll take that as a yes."
I knew Vitaly was involved.
You're too ugly, and I'm too young, and you don't have any luggage.
So Goku and Bulma hear Chi-Chi screams and go to help. Goku remarks that he's never knew that there could be people as dark as this.
Yeah, that was rough.
So Oolong spots Bulma, and now he wants her instead of Chi-Chi. Goku punches Oolong in the gut and sends him reeling. He tells them to run, or I'm going to eat you all alive, and attacks Goku with his rake, and then gets the ever-loving crap beat out of him. Oolong then flees and disappears in thin air, but Goku follows him up a mountain and cuts him off. He surrenders and admits that he's a coward with a weak spot for pretty girls, and he says that he's very good at kissing asses, and he can make Goku feel very special.
Oh, God.
So he also says that he's a shapeshifter and turns into various drag queens before sucker punching Goku in the face.
Yeah.
He then turns into a cartoon bat and just flies away. Goku catches up to him and strikes him, which turns him into an actual physical bat, not a cartoon one. And that crashes into a wall, and he turns into Chinese Elton John.
Very good.
So yeah. He then admits that he's the 91st descendant of the Pig Fairy, and this is his true form. And Goku reveals that he's the 91st descendant of the Monkey King, and that makes them brothers for some reason.
Goku doesn't know where he's from.
No. He's from planet Vegeta. You don't know that. Come on.
When do we even find that out? That's like not till Z or something, right?
You don't find that shit out till Z.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Oolong, wait, we did that part. A mysterious figure starts flipping around them and opens fire with a heavy machine gun. And the man's cockatoo introduces them as the Bandit of the West, Yamcha and Puar. And Yamcha tells them to leave their valuables and he'll spare their lives. And Yamcha looks to be about 11 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks younger than Goku.
Yeah. He looks younger than this Goku who's clearly being played by a woman.
Yeah.
Which, Goku's voiced by a woman, so let's just go with that.
Sure.
Yeah, you can tell by her bigger chest.
So Goku refuses. Yamcha opens fire. Goku spins his pole around to flex all the bullets. Then Yamcha then decides to get real, and he sheds his sunglasses and his hat and his poncho, revealing a glorious white and gold robe underneath. And he went from badass to stupid in 0.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, he went from like stupid to stupider. I mean, he looked ridiculous in that cowboy getup.
It was cooler than what he's wearing now, though.
I guess, but it was like a kid playing dress up in the cowboy stuff.
He went from Clint Eastwood to Prince Ali real quick.
So he draws his saber and attacks. Goku and Yamcha battle, flying around, flipping around the ruins. Goku gets sent crashing through a brick wall. He jumps to his feet and uses his magic pole and extends it out hundreds of feet, knocking Yamcha down.
I thought this was actually kind of awesome. This was like the only time when I was like, this was awesome.
This fight was pretty good.
But the part where he like extends the pole, they had a pretty clever camera effect move to like make it look like it was extending without actually extending it. Like a force perspective, like push like down the length of the pole. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looked pretty cool.
And that actually happens in the fight in the show, too.
Oh, yeah.
So they stuck to that. Yamcha also uses Wolf Fang Fist, but he doesn't do that in this, so that was a disappointment.
Yeah, that sucked.
So they both get disarmed at one point, and Oolong and Puar engage in an eloquent, sharp-tongued battle of words by just screaming, "My brother will win! My brother will win! My brother will win! My brother will win!"
Oh, God. And the fucking bird's voice is the most obnoxious
Jesus Christ,
shit.
somebody kill this freaking bird. So Goku rips out some of Yamcha's hair, and they match blow for blow until they both hook each other's nostrils. And then Bulma calls out to Goku, and Yamcha is immediately smitten with her. And complete with this like shampoo ad of her in slow motion waving her hair around. And Bulma says that, "Oh yeah, that Yamcha, he's so good looking." So Goku punches him in the face and sends him flying off a cliff, killing him forever.
Bye, Yamcha.
So more squawking from the bird. And Bulma and Chi-Chi go to Yamcha, and Bulma asks to be his friend. And then Yamcha Benny Hill runs away screaming. Classic Yamcha.
Yeah.
So Puar catches up to him and mimics Bulma's voice, sending Yamcha into a panic again, and Puar laughs it up by way of someone violently shaking a parrot off screen. Make this parrot look like it's laughing. Yamcha admits that he's afraid of nothing except for women, who he gets very nervous in front of. So that's right out of the show. Later that night, Bulma asks what happened to Chi-Chi, and she explains that the bad guys destroyed her village for the Dragon Ball, and they realize that King Korn now has 3 Dragon Balls, and that they have 1, and they decide that they need to seek out the turtle hermit, Master Roshi. So Oolong says, "I know where to find him. But however, I think I should warn you that Master Roshi is a terrible sex maniac."
Fucking facts, man.
Yeah.
Just facts.
Yeah. So Yamcha is behind a tree listening, and then behind a tree behind him is Melia listening. And so they both overhear the plans to find Master Roshi, and everybody splits up. The next day, Yamcha digs up an old Dragon Ball that he found some time ago and hid away, and he plots that he's going to get all the Dragon Balls for himself so he can make a wish for courage in front of women. Then
That seems like a lot of work for something that you could easily do with practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's scour the globe for these 7 magic balls.
You know, like the amount of dedication it takes to learn not only martial arts, but flying through the air martial arts.
Yeah.
You can practice talking to a few girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collect those balls, wish for something sick. All right. Just work on the girl thing.
Yeah. Wish for a better cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
Melia and Zabrata also report back to King Horn and tell him about the plan to find Master Roshi. Cut to Yamcha cutting across the ocean on a jet ski towards Kame House. And inside, Master Roshi's dancing around on his balcony in a dance that is, I guess, necessary to summon the flying Nimbus. That goes on for half an hour. So Nimbus comes down. Flying Nimbus is a magical cloud for those not savvy in the Dragon Ball world. It flies down, and he jumps on it, and he orders the Nimbus to take him to the 4 corners of the world to look for pretty girls.
God.
And Nimbus then drops him to the ground, and Roshi shoots lassos out of his turtle shell and hooks himself to Nimbus, a cloud again. who pulls him onto a surfboard and across the surface of a water, and oh, what a wacky relationship this old pervert and sentient cloud have.
This is the point where my enjoyment of the film took a significant hit.
Yeah.
When Master Roshi showed up, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, everything kind of goes downhill with Roshi. Just then, Yamcha arrives and runs onto the island, and he gets attacked by Roshi and quickly bested, and their little fight's pretty good too. Yeah,
I mean, anytime there's actual like martial arts, it's not too shabby. A lot of the time, it's just them flying around and a bunch of weird special effects. But when they actually like have choreography, it's cool.
Yeah. Yamcha accuses Roshi of fighting dirty, and Roshi accuses Yamcha of wanting to steal the Nimbus from him. Yamcha says that he's looking for the Turtle Hermit. Roshi says that I'm the Turtle Hermit, because I'm this old man wearing this gigantic goddamn turtle shell. And he guesses that Yamcha wants to train with him. And Yamcha says, nah, I don't want to train with you, but there's someone that's coming that wants to challenge you because they know if they beat you, they'll become very famous due to your legendary kung fu skills. Overcomplicated plan, but okay.
Yeah.
At this point, Bulma, Chi-Chi, Oolong, and Goku all arrive by way of speedboat. I don't know where all these vessels are coming from.
Capsules, baby.
From capsules.
They never show it, though.
You already gotta know Dragon Ball to understand this movie.
It would help if they showed the capsules, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Instead of they're doing all these other stupid goofball effects.
That's true. It wouldn't even be that hard.
They spent all their money on the crocodile.
Yeah, just do one of those little smoke bomb flashes, and there's a plane there. Boom. There, capsule done. So
maybe they thought it was too wacky for their movie with a racist pig and a pervert old man.
It's a little too much.
It's too much.
I don't know if people are going to buy this, guys. So Roshi takes Goku as the challenger and approaches them aggressively, but he's dumbstruck once he sees Bulma, however. And he very creepily inspects Bulma's leg and starts doing really, really creepy things. I mean,
that's
Roshi's
Roshi.
A pervert in the show, but when it's done in real life, it just takes on a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It makes you want to gather a group of friends together and everybody yell rapist as happily as you can.
Yeah. I mean, the animated Roshi, it's like, oh, that rascally old pervert. What will he say next? But this one, he's the deranged old man jerking off on the bus.
Yeah. He also usually gets physically hurt trying to perv out on people in the cartoon. Like, the girls always punch him in the face or something. There's no ramifications in this.
No, he gets away with everything in this one. So they all deny that they want to fight him. So Roshi asks that why would Yamcha tell him such a lie? And then Puar gives up Yamcha immediately and tells him that, he's in the house. And once again, he flees away from Bulma. And Yamcha tells Roshi that it is Goku who wants to fight. And so Goku attacks him, but Bulma breaks it up. And Roshi starts his crazy-ass dancing again to summon Nimbus. And he says that dishonest people are incapable of riding the Nimbus. And this way we'll find out which of Goku and Yamcha is the liar. Because this is extremely important to the plot.
Yeah. I don't even know what Yamcha's plan was here.
To get them to fight, and then he wins.
Okay.
What's that to understand? But oddly enough, this does happen in the show, where Roshi makes Yamcha and Goku ride the Nimbus to see who's lying about wanting to fight him.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yamcha tries and he fails, but then Goku tries and he succeeds, and he flies around demonstrating how pure of heart he is. And Roshi then decides to give Nimbus to Goku because it never listens to him anyway. And then Roshi immediately gets pissed off because Goku doesn't have to dance for half an hour to get Nimbus to appear. And Roshi's dance, it's just, it's something to behold.
It's awful.
And the music behind it is also something.
Isn't it like hip-hop
It's a lot of air humping.
Yeah, it's like some weird
Taiwanese hip-hop beat.
Yeah. While he's doing his little duck walk.
Oh man, yeah, they even got this guy to sort of crouch walk everywhere he goes. You know, just like Roshi. Yeah, and his dance is disturbing.
Yamcha reveals that he was just after the Dragon Balls and didn't mean any harm to anybody. They ask Roshi for his help, and he agrees. He's in possession of the 2-star Dragon Ball. And Puar again gives up that Yamcha, he also has a Dragon Ball. So Roshi convinces Yamcha to hand it over, and Bulma kisses him for it when he does. And then his eyes turn into cartoon slot machines, and he topples over paralyzed. Then wakes up and Benny Hill runs away again.
Who is this movie fucking for? It's like half cartoon. And then there's this pervy old man being disgusting and like not for kids. This is villain.
I think it was made for Chase because everything that happened in this, all I can think is, oh, Chase must be fucking loving this.
Oh God, it was hilarious.
Like, you know, as soon as the slot machines pop up, Chase would probably be like, well, you know, in the early version of the manga.
I stood up and clapped. I applauded it.
I don't think there was any slot machine shit in the original.
No, I don't think so either.
They don't have slot machines. They got pachinko.
So Roshi offers his Dragon Ball. Here's where it gets really bad. Yoshi offers his Dragon Ball, but says he'll only hand it over if he gets to see Bulma naked. He discounts his offer to just her top half. And Goku and Oolong don't think that Bulma should do it. So Bulma suggests, hey, Oolong, why don't you shapeshift into me and you do it? It's the same thing. He's still seeing you.
Yeah.
But
that's like saying, no, you can't see me naked. Here's a picture of me naked.
I guess. I don't know. I guess she'd probably feel less filthy about it. As long as it's not her.
I was a little disappointed in Oolong because how readily he changed into her.
Yeah.
But he wanted to see her just as bad.
Yeah.
And what he should have said was, well, I can't like change into you until I know what you look like.
Yeah.
And then boom, he could have saw it.
So you're disappointed that Oolong wasn't more cleverly perverted?
I feel bad for this racist pig.
I'm firmly on board with everybody yelling rapist, and I'm just trying to find out ways for people
to succeed,
to see Bulma naked,
to see Bulma naked.
All this exact same shit plays out in the show too.
It's exactly
slightly different
standards over there.
Yeah.
So Oolong says he'll do it, but Bulma has to show him her bottom half. That's his deal.
Yeah.
And then that's when Bulma explains, well, when you transform into me, you're going to be able to see whatever you want. And none of this argument makes any goddamn sense.
Yeah, she never made with the bottom half.
Yeah. So,
this whole thing pissed me off, by the way. I was just as into it as Roshi and Oolong. And I'm like, no, y'all are doing it wrong. Shit.
So Oolong transforms into Bulma, but it's him in a Bulma dress. And then they say, that's not going to work. So then he does it correctly and turns into actual Bulma, but with way bigger tits, because he knows that that's going to please Master Roshi.
I don't know why he wants to do that.
Yeah, that's when it got weird for me. Then I was firmly on the opposite team of Oolong. Like, whoa, now. We were good at first.
You're trying to think of extra incentives for this old man.
He's trying to make it real pleasurable for him.
So Bulma then starts to, quote-unquote Bulma, dances up to Roshi, and they dance around for a little while. The others watch from inside. Oh, Oolong, yeah.
Booblong.
There you go. He starts to untie his top when Roshi hands over the Dragon Ball, and then she flashes him, and he immediately passes out. Classic Roshi. So They ask Roshi for the location of the last Dragon Ball, but he's gone crazy with the breast madness.
Yeah.
And just then, King Horn's forces arrive at Kame House, and the ships open fire on the heroes, and they beam down Malia and Zabrata. They approach Master Roshi, who's hiding in his shell at this point, and open fire. They completely blow up Kame House as they try to murder everyone there. Bulma drops the 3 Dragon Balls that they have, and Roshi tells them all to flee as he battles Zabrata. Goku calls the Nimbus, and him and Chi-Chi and Bulma all hop on and fly away, and then they gotta save Oolong too, but he can't ride on Nimbus because he's Oolong. So they just send the pole out here. You just grab onto the end of the pole.
You know what's frustrating about they showed Goku flying basically already. In the earlier parts of the movie, he was flying already.
Yeah.
Why does he need the Nimbus now?
Because unlike the show, he can fly here when he couldn't back then, and he needed the Nimbus. Muckety muck.
You suck, Dragon Ball. The magic begins.
So, as the 3 ships fly away, Roshi pulls some Egg Shen magic and blows up 2 of them. Now, this could have just been a Kamehameha.
Yeah, why not?
But they didn't. It's this weird purple thing. Zabrata opens fire from the remaining ship and obliterates the entire island entirely with a shotgun. Mm-hmm. So now King Horn's in possession of 6 of the Dragon Balls, and he believes whoever has the last Dragon Ball will reveal themselves to him soon enough. Meanwhile, on the mainland, Roshi swims up to the bank and rejoins the heroes. Yamcha also meets up with them and joins their cause. They kick Oolong out of the planning meeting since he's not a Dragon Ball owner.
And he's just a general piece of shit.
Roshi then explains that if 2 of the Dragon Balls are put together, something bad will happen. And then the other 5 will eventually meet up, and Horn has 6. And what the fuck is your point, Roshi?
I didn't understand this at all.
I didn't get it either. I just thought it was because I don't understand math as good as the Taiwanese.
He accuses the group that one of them must have hidden the last Dragon Ball somewhere. They then spot Oolong playing with the last Dragon Ball. And he claims that the pig fairy told him never to show it to anyone. And Roshi says that, well, now that we have the last Dragon Ball that Horn needs to take over the universe, let's go get him.
Let's bring it right to him.
Or don't do that. Just a thought. So Zabrata reports to King Horn that the group is on the way with the last Dragon Ball. Oolong then storms the bridge Rambo style, taking out an entire platoon of Horn's henchmen. Goku and Yamcha attack head-on with Roshi. Chi-Chi and Bulma are sneaking around. Yoshi faces off against Zabrata while Malia pursues Goku. Yamcha and Oolong as well. Goku and Yamcha battle Malia, but it's Oolong who winds up gunning her down in cold blood.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was...
Again, the shift in tone.
I wasn't expecting this. See, the thing about... One of the things...
He just cuts her in half with a machine gun.
Yeah. One of the things about Dragon Ball that's so charming is that, like, Goku's... It's like Goku's such a good person that, like, all the villains he meets ends up, like, being his friends.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they just get massacred.
by a racist rapist
by a black-faced pig.
So Roshi battles Zabrata and disarms him of his magic shotgun, but Zabrata proves too powerful for Roshi until Bulma picks up the magic shotgun and fucking blows him to pieces.
Yeah.
This was awesome. I mean, it was tonally a big problem, but it was kind of awesome.
He just disintegrates and just splatters everywhere. So the army then rushes in, but Roshi manages to hold them off as Goku and Yamcha help to thin out the ranks, moving towards the temple. King Horn then joins the battle and starts firing ki blasts at the heroes. Horn and Roshi start trading ki blasts, and Horn's Air Force flies in and beams down Gohan, and he's bound up with a rope. And Horn threatens Gohan and says that I'm going to kill him if you don't give me that last Dragon Ball. And Gohan tells Goku not to hand it over because, he doesn't care about his life. But Goku then begs Roshi to hand it over. Horn then kicks away Gohan, enraging Goku. But Gohan stops him because he's no match for Horn. So why did he even try to use Gohan as a bargaining chip if he's just going to throw him away when they say no?
He said I'll kill him, and then they said no, and then he didn't kill him.
He's like, well, damn it, here, take him.
Rule number 1 of villainy is you got to follow through.
Yes.
Nobody's going to respect you if you don't follow through.
Yeah. So Horn then turns the movie blue. And the villagers, including Chi-Chi's parents, all arrive zombified under Horn's control, and they surround the heroes and take them prisoner. Goku calls in the Nimbus and manages to fly away over to Horn and hits him and breaks the spell over the villagers, Jones-Townsing the whole group.
I was really hoping that whenever everything turned blue, even though I knew it wasn't going to happen, I was hoping beyond hope that a full moon would come out and Goku was going to turn into the monkey and all that, but
that would have been crazy.
Yeah. Nobody goes full Uzaru in this.
Yeah, it would that would have saved the movie for me right then.
Which, if you're going to do, it has to be stop motion.
Yes.
No CG giant baboons.
Oh no, it would have been a guy in a suit. It would have been Kaiju.
There we go.
Yeah, that's true. He would have been King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
So, Goku and Yamcha do battle with Horn, but they're knocked away. Oolong tries his luck to no avail, of course. Gohan and Roshi then theorize that Horn must have all 6 of the Dragon Balls in his stomach. And if Roshi can get him to swallow the last one, he'll explode. Sure.
Why would he keep him in his stomach?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Right out of the goddamn movie.
Is it?
Yep.
Why?
Okay.
Because safekeeping. Well, in the movie, he's infatuated with eating, and that's what the Curse of the Blood Rubies does. It turned him into a monster who's insatiably hungry or something. So I guess he ate them.
That's fucking stupid.
If with context, it makes sense in that movie, but in this movie,
no, it doesn't.
Listen, yeah.
Based on this new information, all of anything Dragon Ball sucks now. If this is the foundation we're building on, fuck Dragon Ball, man.
But they left out that whole part. They showed him with them in a box earlier, and now he just suddenly has eaten them for no reason.
Well, he got peckish waiting around.
I'm glad I brought back that fucking game now.
So Roshi and Horn get into a classic Dragon Ball Ki Beam struggle that isn't nearly as awesome as it should be.
No, not for the... This is the 90s, yo. Special effects has taken off.
Yeah, this is the 90s, yo. That was whack.
This is so whack.
So...
as if...
Roshi runs up, shoves the last Dragon Ball into Horn's mouth. Goku then uses his magic pole to ram the ball down Horn's throat.
Yeah!
That was a sentence I just said. The group flees as Horn falls down the stairs in agony. He beams aboard his ship, and just as the ship's flying away, it explodes, leaving behind the magic dragon Shenron.
Or rather, a crappy puppet.
This was worse than the crocodile. This was like a papier-mâché dragon that they superimposed over the film.
Yeah, this was embarrassing.
Just immaculately done special effects. Shenron tells the group that they get one wish, and Roshi and Oolong immediately try to steal the wish and wish for something more than likely perverted. But the group all slaps their hands over their mouths, and then Goku tells Chi-Chi to make her wish, and she wishes for all the villagers and the village to be restored. Shenron grants the wish, and the village is rebuilt, and all the villagers are brought back to life. Chi-Chi gets reunited with her family, and there was much rejoicing. Yamcha then tells Goku that he has a wish, to challenge Goku to a fight. And Goku says, granted. And the two square up, and Yamcha asks, you want to ring the bell? And Goku responds, ding, ding. And the two leap into the air as the Hong Kong Children's Choir sing their rendition of Survivor's Eye of the Tiger. Yes. Roll credits.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. You know, going back through it, it wasn't as good as what I watched.
No shit.
This was the first movie where I was over halfway through it before I stopped to look at how much was left. Like, usually it's 5 minutes in and I'm checking to see how long this freaking thing is.
I was 5 minutes in and I was looking.
Was that about, was halfway about when Roshi showed up? That's when I was like, God damn it.
When it started getting uncomfortable with Roshi, I was like, okay.
I have two notes right in a row that are, oh no, Roshi's dancing. And then, oh no, everything about Roshi.
Yeah, after the crocodile, everything was downhill for me.
Yeah. Now, there's apparently another live-action Dragon Ball rendition that's a little better, but I couldn't find that one anywhere.
Really? Evolution was kind of hard to find?
You have no idea how bad I wanted to make us watch Evolution, but it is streaming nowhere. Like I've been waiting for a season and a half for that thing to pop up on something, and I just don't think it's going to happen because nobody wants to watch that movie.
It looked like there's another version of this movie that came out a few years later called the Ultimate Edition, and I guess they redid some of the special effects. Yeah,
that might be more to. No, it isn't. What am I saying?
I'm not sure. It would save it.
Nobody wants to see that.
I don't understand why the fuck is Horn keeping those things in his stomach, man.
No.
He probably knew that, what's he going to do when he gets the seventh one? Is he going to eat that too and then just die?
And blow up?
He's going to poop them all out one by one.
Is he going to vomit them up? What's he going to do? What's his plan?
Well, in the show, it seems like...
we're not talking about the show. We're talking about this.
Okay, yeah. In this, he wants all the Dragon Balls so that he can rule the universe. I guess he doesn't know how they work. That once you put them all together, because he even says at the beginning, once I get all 7 of them together, it's going to be a great explosion.
Yeah.
Yep. Stupid.
I'm starting to think this movie doesn't make any sense, guys. Oh man. So again, I was so enthralled with this movie when I watched it, I forgot to get questions. Because I forgot it was even my turn.
Oh.
So I had to go back and get questions. So I guess let's get to that. Let's get to the bonus round stuff. Okay. So, question number 1. What Dragon Ball does King Horn start off in possession of? Question number 2. What kind of jerky does Goku offer Bulma while they're riding around on the elephant?
Fuck.
He says it's 2 things. It's 2 things, 2 kinds of jerky.
Yeah,
I'll accept either one of them.
I don't know. Gotta get.
And that's that. Okay. Question number 1. Which Dragon Ball does Horn start off the movie with?
3.
I said 2.
The 3-star ball. Blake has pulled ahead.
Yes.
He suddenly cares now.
He's in the lead. Oh no.
I'm back in this thing.
And what kind of jerky does Goku offer Bulma?
Was it lizard and something?
I said tiger.
You both got it.
Oh,
Blake, I'll accept yours. It was tiger and gecko.
Yeah.
Whew.
Wow.
All right. Well,
okay,
I'll take one.
Okay, so once again, Blake's in the lead, and I'm in dead fucking last.
Oh shit!
God damn it. So, okay, Blake, you've got 5. John, you got 4.
No, Blake has.
I've got
Blake
3.
has 4. I have 3.
Blake has 4. You have 3. I have 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Shit.
Well,
Blake's running away with this goddamn thing.
Yep.
well, you can't get any next week. So
Yeah. Ugh. So, okay, there's Dragon Ball. Blake, coming attractions. What's your last movie of the season?
Well, I figured I've gotten so much shit for picking bad movies that I figured, let me find a good movie. So I thought, what do I like to see? And I was like, well, I found a movie, and it's from it's a director that I think we all like. Guillermo del Toro.
What?
Yeah. So he made a movie with a bunch of kaiju and giant robots and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was highly rated. But then I found its sequel.
God.
Atlantic Rim.
I know it. Oh, I knew where this was going.
Believe it or not, on further inspection, Guillermo del Toro has nothing to do with Atlantic.
What?
No.
And it's because he had nothing to do with Atlantic Rim that it also had to have 3 name changes. It's also known as Attack from Beneath, Attack from the Atlantic Rim, and From the Sea.
Oh man.
Okay,
give us some stats.
Yeah, it's got 1.7 on Amazon.
God damn.
And on IMDb, wait, let me find it again. Yeah, IMDb, it has a solid 3.
A stout 3.
Yeah. So I pulled some reviews that I really liked. One of the reviews just says, "Well, I watched it." Another one just says, "Arr." I guess they're angry. And the third one is almost as good as Pacific Rim Job. So one good thing is one of the stars is Tretch from Naughty by Nature. So obviously they, got good actors.
Yeah.
And it's all around terrible. I've watched the trailer for it, and it's an asylum movie. So
they're
back.
I knew it was an asylum movie.
Yeah, it's an asylum movie. I have somewhere on here how much it cost to make. Where was it? $500,000.
It's not going to look a penny of that.
Well, and the box office brought in $50,000.
Whoa. Well, okay. Yeah.
They were overpaid.
Yeah.
Got released in theaters?
That's what I was thinking, but it says that's what it brought in a box. Well, hold on.
I thought those movies were specifically to target confused grandmothers buying Christmas gifts.
Well, hold on.
Or idiot Redbox users.
It says that the film was released direct to DVD, but then right under it says box office earnings $50,000. So there was a bit of controversy because they did have permission to film at an airbase in Florida. And then when a general in charge of the base found out and read what they were doing, he shut that shit down. So they ended up filming on a private helicopter airport. And there's also a sequel. Whenever Pacific Rim had Uprising or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's Atlantic Rim something or another. I don't know.
Moving on.
Erection. Yeah. Atlantic Rim erection.
Oh man. Is this the first
Atlantic Rim Resurrection?
Yeah.
Is this the first Asylum film? Is this the first Asylum film we've watched with John?
I think so.
No. Planet of the Sharks. Well? Planet of the Sharks was Asylum.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That was Asylum too. Oh yeah. I don't know. I still have flashbacks to Airplane versus Volcano and Dean Cain.
Yep.
I guess it's been long enough. We can do another Asylum movie.
Sure.
Yep.
I've always been morbidly curious about this one, actually.
How long is it?
I didn't want to fall into territory where I'm picking too bad of movies.
Well, that remains to be seen, Blake.
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, Jesus.
Jury's still out.
Fucking people get their panties in a bunch if you do your job around here.
That wasn't doing your job. That was attempted murder.
No, it was me doing my job, and everybody got butthurt.
Ugh.
Just us, though.
Ugh.
You know who else got butthurt? Gohan. Because we watched a movie where an old man was raped with a stick, and nobody bats a fucking eye.
Well, that's one of my notes on this was because I was having a little bit of a hard time kind of making fun of this movie. But just because you can't make fun of like the logic of a fucking cartoon. Like, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
The whole thing is nonsense. Right. So I'm like, old man gets stick rammed up his ass. Like, it's a cartoon. What do you want?
Yeah.
That old classic cartoon trope.
Yeah. Bugs Bunny did it all the time.
Yeah, it's constantly raping Elmer Fudd.
The old man with a stick up his ass routine. Man. How long is Atlantic Rim?
Atlantic Rim is... I already put up my notes. An hour and 25 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah. That's in the sweet spot.
And it's where?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. How? I mean, we say this all the time, but how these 1-star movies make it onto Amazon Prime?
I don't know.
Why am I paying a subscription for this shit?
Well, they have like real movies on there too.
You should pay me every time I watch one of these goddamn things.
Well, the funny thing is that
their bar is pretty low.
It is really low. I even wonder if they're paying anything for them. I mean, particularly something like that's completely independent, like Born into Mafia or Swamp Ape or whatever. No, Hollywood didn't get paid to be on Amazon. Fucking Anton Productions didn't get paid for Born into Mafia. There's no way, right? I mean,
no. I do want to say that there was
a subsidiary of Antflix.
Yeah, right. Antflix.
I just want to say there was going to be another choice here, but I chose Atlantic Rim just because it had a lower rating than the other one I found. And the other one I found was Independence Day, but not spelled like independence, like spelled like independent, like a single person.
A plural of individual independence.
Yes, Independence Day.
Individual Day is what they're
basically what it is. And in between Independence and Day on the cover is like it's like a little gray alien head with the Ghostbusters no symbol.
Oh my god. That sounds amazing. And they're defeated by a third party.
Oh boy. Wow.
And that was also an Asylum movie.
Oh man. Well, it sounds like we're going to come with some good stuff for our last round of this season.
God, Jesus Christ! Now that I'm looking at also watch, there's a World War A.
Fuck you, Asylum.
When aliens attack, World War A.
Oh my god.
Why can't we work there?
Dude, like nobody works there.
Because they take that shit seriously.
Yeah. They don't have employees, dude.
They wouldn't put up with us.
I read a whole thing about a guy that was trying to write for Asylum, and they have these super specific rules to write for them. And yes, they take it all pretty seriously. But you got to come. They already have like titles, and you have to come and pitch treatment based on a title. It's crazy.
So we just can't walk in with Dragon versus Roller Coaster.
Yeah, they gotta already be. They already gotta want a Dragon versus Roller Coaster.
Brilliant idea. By the way, go back and listen to our what was that season 1 finale?
Yeah.
Yeah, go back and listen to season 1 finale to hear me and Blake's pitch to John, Dragon versus Roller Coaster, starring triple threat, Pauly Shore, and Pauly Shore.
Exactly. I guarantee you it's better than World War A.
Fucking World War A. These assholes. What a bunch of assholes. Who couldn't do this?
World War A.
Whatever. I'm gonna put out Finite War.
Aliens Incontinence.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for listening. If you can, drop us a review on iTunes. We'd very much appreciate it. While you're there, you can subscribe to get all our latest episodes the second they go live. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Garbage Theater. Follow us on Twitter at @garbage_theater and on Instagram at @garbage_theater. If you've got a suggestion for a movie, we're open to suggestion. Shoot us a line on any of those social channels, or you can email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Any last anythings before we put a pin in Dragon Ball, whatever the hell it was called?
No.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing. One of these days we're gonna have final says, but I got nothing.
What do you want me to say?
to send us off with something that leaves the audience scratching their heads.
Oh, okay. Watch out for those magic poles.
Don't eat all the Dragon Balls. That's just life advice.
Oh, boy. Okay, so our next episode, we're going to be watching Atlantic Rim. You can find it on Amazon. It's
so stupid.
And it's going to be stupid.
It is. It's so stupid.
So join us next time for Atlantic Rim, folks. We'll see you then.